Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Bake Brigade. Man, I'm gonna move y'all back just a little bit. I won't be too much in your face. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good Wednesday night. It's almost 11 o'clock here. um, I'm kind of having a rough day of it. I think the kidney stones are at it again. The last few days I've not felt very well. My appetite has been really bad. Just haven't felt like eating much of anything or doing much of anything. I just been pushing through. If you're new to the channel, I have chronic kidney stones on top of all my other health issues, which there are several. I have been battling kidney stones on and off for about over 20 years. And I had another kidney stone attack about 3 weeks ago. And on top of an infection of some sort that I took antibiotics for at the time. And I thought for sure that I had, kicked that infection. But about 2 or 3 days ago, closer to 4 days ago, the infection came right back. Because of course I haven't gotten rid of the kidney stones. I'm waiting to hear about kidney stone surgery because they're, they're probably not passable. They're too big to pass. They generally are too big to pass. When I have kidney stones, they usually have to go in and bust them up and get rid of them, help me get rid of them. So needless to say, I'm waiting on word about kidney stone surgery. And now the kidney stone infection or whatever. Kidney stones are notorious for causing infections, and the infection is back. So I'm taking Azo, which is an over-the-counter medication. It turns your pee orange basically, but it runs a medication, a pain medication in that in your urinary tract, and gives you some relief. And so it does help. But it has that unfortunate thing where it turns color there. But I can tell that the infection's back. And I'm, experiencing some pain associated with that. And it's kind of messing with my appetite quite a bit. So I'm, I had just gotten to where I could eat certain foods. And now just about everything is turning my stomach. And so I'm not able to eat a lot of stuff right now. So it's making it difficult to eat anything. And so that just kind of puts me in a mood, and not a great mood to, do much of anything. But I did discover something that, unfortunately, as much as I was excited, very extremely excited, and bought things in hopes that I would be able to do needle knitting, I'm not going to be able to do that. I sat here the last few days trying to needle knit, and it hurts. It hurts to do the motion of needle knitting with both, because I have carpal tunnel in both arms and both wrists and hands, and the motion of trying to do it was really just too painful. So unfortunately, that's just not going to be something I can do. So as much as I really wanted to do it and learn it and be proficient in it and make all of you proud of me to do it, to learn it and do it, I'm not going to put myself through agony to do it. I'm just not. I'm just not. I hate that. I really wanted to learn it, but and be, as good at it as Sharon over at Another Yarn. She is a knitting whiz kid, and I admire all the beautiful knitting things that she comes up with. But it's just not in the cards for me, and that's okay. That is okay. I do have my looms. I have my knitting looms that I could do something on them. I had a brainstorm last night while I was trying to go to sleep, and my brain wouldn't shut up. That happens. I had a brainstorm last night about this really big 120 peg loom I have up here. I said, I wonder if I could maybe do flat panels on that and do a knitted sweater that way. So that might be something I tackle. You going to bed? Okay, love you.
Love you.
You know, I'm gonna get my tape measure and do some measuring and see if I can do flat panels on this round. Let me see if I can get it from up here. Hold on. This lovely 120 peg loom that I have. This is a Sandwood loom. Okay, Sandwood is a brand of looms that are handmade looms. And she sells them online. You can look them up. C-I-N-D Wood, W-O-O-D looms. And these are very well made. And I think I paid around $80 for this one. And it's 120 pegs. They do come out, actually. But you'd really have to tug on them to get them out. But because some people that do a lot of extensive loom knitting do really complicated stuff on looms. You can do just about anything that you can do with needle knitting, you can do on a loom. It requires a whole lot of planning and a whole lot of, really a whole lot of stuff. But you can do it. You can definitely do it. But what I was thinking, because I do know how to do flat panels on my looms. I do know how to do that. And so I was thinking maybe I could, do some measuring and see how wide a panel I can get out of this. And do, like a back panel and 2 front panels. And then, maybe measure, how wide a sleeve I need. And then, double the width of a sleeve to where I can make it, to where I could fold it and then seam it together for the sleeve. You know what I'm saying? I could seam it under here and just do it as a flat panel and then fold it and seam it and have the sleeve like that, and just kind of piece together a knitted sweater like that. So that was my thought last night when my brain wouldn't shut off. So I got to do some measurements and see if if there's enough room around this thing to do that. If so, that may be something you see in the future. Because this I got some scarfy yarn, which is 5-weight yarn. It's not a super thick 5-weight yarn, but it would work in here. And so that may be something that y'all see in the future. So I haven't completely given up on the idea of knit items. I'm just going to incorporate this instead of 2 needles, because I can hold this with this hand and then wrap with this hand and wrap and flip and wrap and flip. See, the key to doing flat panels on these and not having the ends curl up is to purl on one end and then knit between and then knit and then purl on the other end, and then it shouldn't curl on the ends. And so if you knit the first couple of pegs, not knit, but if you purl the first couple of pegs and then knit in between and then purl the last 2 pegs, then ideally your panel should not curl. So at least the ones that I did when I did Frankenblanket, it's a long story. There's a blanket that I pieced together when I first learned to crochet called Frankenblanket. It's a big giant thing, and when I did all those panels, I used a stitch called Owl Eye, and that doesn't curl. But it's not necessarily a solid stitch either. But I really would like the solid knit stitch, the stockinette stitch. I'm going to just give it a go. I don't know about doing it. I could do it in the Owl Eye stitch, and I know it would lay flat, but I really want it to look like a knit sweater. I want it to look the regular knit look. So that's why I'm going to do it that way. So I'm just going to do it in E-wrap. I'm a do 2 purls and then knit, E-wrap knit, and then 2 purls on the other end of each panel until I get them. And then I'm just gonna do what's in my head and hope for the best. And we will all see what happens. But I got to do some measurements and see. I know that I'm going to do it based on my measurements and see if it works out. And if it works out, then that might be something I can do with my sweaters that I sell. It depends on how long it takes me to do it. Because, of course, it's going to take longer than it does when I crochet them. Because I'm wrapping and flipping and wrapping. And, yeah, that's going to take longer. But it will be beautiful. I know that. So, you know, and it would be nice. I think it would be really nice to do something like that. And at least I'm, you know, I won't feel so terrible about giving up on needle knitting if I can actually accomplish something like that. So, anyway. And of course, I have all of these knitting needles that Diane sent me. So, I got to figure out what to do with those. You know. But I will. I'll figure out what to do with them. I have an idea what I'm going to do with them. And then I watched a video by Fiber Flux earlier this evening on YouTube. And I shared that with the Facebook group where she is doing her yearly thing, her stash down. She calls it a stash down, where she makes a granny square blanket out of her scrap yarn. Now, I did talk about this a while back in a video. Now, she did this last year. It's not something new for her channel. So, it's not, you know, she does this every year. I saw her do it last year. And she's not the only one that does it. Cinnamon Stitches did this not too long ago, but she didn't do it like a cowl or anything like that. Fiberflux is actually doing it as kind of a crochet along. She invites you to do it with her. But Cinnamon Stitches didn't do that. She just, you know, kind of told you that she was just, you know, using her scraps to make a blanket. And so she just kind of, oh, this is what I'm doing, you know. Me, I'm going to invite you to join me. And then asked you to share your pictures on the Facebook group. So I have assembled some yarn here in a box. I went through the other day and sorted through my scrap yarn. I have it in a little drawer situation. I have one of those little plastic 3-drawer things that you can get at Walmart. It used to hold my paint when I painted, but I had it in this little bathroom, you know, behind where the camera is. There's a little bathroom back there, and I had it on the counter in there because it's very small. And I was like, well, let me clean that up and put the scrap yarn in it. And so there's lots of little balls. There's 3 drawers full of little scrap balls. Well, I weeded out the real tiny ones and kept the ones that would, you know, be worth keeping. Now, what I do intend on doing is, because most of what I have is 4-weight yarn. I don't use anything less than 4-weight yarn. I don't have any 3-weight yarn or anything less than 4-weight yarn. I just don't have any of that because I don't use it because it's too hard on my hands to use anything less than a 4-weight yarn. So I have 4-weight and then I have some 5-weights. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with 4-weight yarn and I'm going to use 2 strands at a time. Now, Fiberflux, I think she's using 3 or 4 strands at a time. Good on her. I'm not going to use that many strands at a time because I plan on making more than one blanket. She does one big blanket. I think now in her video, I seem to remember that she's making more than one blanket because she's doing it for an animal shelter. But she is using like 3 or 4 strands at a time, and she's using a 10 millimeter hook. I'm going to use a 7 millimeter hook and use 2 strands of 4 worsted weight yarn. I might go up to an 8 millimeter hook, maybe. maybe. But I think my 8mm hook might be over there somewhere in a project bag, I think. But I know my 9mm is right over here. So my 9mm hook is, I just saw it. It's right over here. So if I need to, I can go up to a 9 to make it, to do 3 strands at the most. At the most, I might do 3 and a 9mm. But I'm really thinking 2 strands and a 7mm. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just going to go by comfort level is what I'm going to go by. And just do a granny square blanket. And I'm probably going to do them, because I have quite a few scraps. And so I'm going to do them 40 inches by 40 inches. And I'm going to do them for my local animal shelter, the Northwest Louisiana Humane Society. So that's what I'm going to do mine for. Now, if y'all decide to join me, which I would love. Now, this is not solely my idea. This is something I got from another channel. I'm giving her the credit because she did her video first. Now, I did mention this a little while ago, just in passing in another video. But this is something that Fiber Flux does every year. This is my first year doing something like this. But, because I think last year, maybe last year, or the year before, I don't remember. I sold my scrap yarn last time that I had this much. I sold it for like 25 bucks on Marketplace. I'm not selling my scrap yarn this time. I'm going to go ahead and use it. But I have some floppies in this little box next to me. And y'all know what I mean by floppies, right? Well, this is a little bit more than a floppy. This is a Karen 1-pounder that I used some out of when I did one of my sweaters last year. This color is called Ocean. This is one of my favorite colors because it's blue with a little bit of green, but it's called Ocean. Duh, I'm a sucker for the beach. I love the beach. But this is a beautiful blue. Okay, I have a whole lot of this one. So this will be what I start with. And I'm just going to start with one of these in here. See, I have a ball of, this is Orchid. This is what was left out of a sweet roll. This was left out of a sweater. This was a floppy that I balled up. This is just a black, oh, this is Craft Smart yarn. One. Now, I am going to not put 5-weight yarn. I'm not going to mix 5-weight yarn with 4-weight yarn. I'm going to hold off, and all the 5-weight yarn I have, I'm going to do them together in one blanket by themselves. So I'm going to wait and just put the 5-weight yarn I have, scrap yarn I have, into a blanket by themselves, because that could get a little cumbersome trying to pair 5-weight yarn with 4-weight yarn. That's going to get a bit much for my hook. So I'm going to just wait and pair this by itself and use probably like a 8 or 9mm hook. So, because I have a few balls of this yarn, and in the other little container back there that I sorted through the other day. But I have, of course, the first big floppy. This is Big Twist in the Twinkle white color that I did something with. I don't remember what. This is Creek yarn that I started a project that I never finished, but used enough out of it to call it a floppy. I just frogged a project out of this. This is Red Heart Neon Stripe. And then there's a couple of whole skeins in here that I probably will just pull and use, because they're, cheap yarn that, But I got some more, I got a couple more floppies over there in another box that I'll probably use. And then I got some yarn that's caked up in Ziplocs that I'll probably pull from over there. But I got lots of yarn that just needs to be dealt with, is the moral of the story. And I got lots of new yarn, of course. Tons of new yarn. But something needs to be done with this yarn, because it just does. just because it just does. It just doesn't make any sense that it's just sitting here, right? It's just sitting here, and the more new things I make out of the new yarn, the more that this other yarn just keeps piling up. The scrap balls just keep piling up. And so rather than them keep piling up, it's time to just do something with them, right? And so I can't be the only one in this situation. Please comment below. But I did at least go through all my little buckets and containers, and now all my scraps are centrally located. And because I've made over like 20 something sweaters since last year. So I've made a lot of sweaters, and so I need, I have a lot of scraps, and I need to work through those. And I'm going to make a bunch of blankets for some puppies. How about that? I think it'd be fun, and it'd be interesting to see the different color combinations that come through as a result of this. And I look forward to seeing your color combinations that y'all come up with. Hopefully there's more, some of you that will join me in this destashing, destashing of our scraps. Now, I will say that I probably will grab some of my value yarn, and put with some of these scraps if I run out of floppies, that is. I have some floppies over there in another box. And then I have, like I said, some caked up yarn and Ziplocs that probably I could just use when I start running out of, other things. Yeah. So I really just want to, kind of knock this stuff down and do something with it, and feel like I've accomplished something. And I can really whip out granny square blankets. I think that that's one of the easiest things to do. And I can, binge watch some TV and just do it, and it's relaxing. And how many of y'all can relate to that? Also, I decided to pull out the boys' blankets and start working on them as well. I will show y'all those, because I want to get some progress on those. Excuse me. Oh, we had the appointment with the people today about Johnny's getting certified for the program to go out to Frost Industries. That was a very quick interview situation. They asked him a bunch of questions about his abilities and his disabilities and that sort of thing. And so it seemed like it was, very smooth and informative. And the lady didn't seem to think it would be a problem getting him certified. So I had already provided the documentation that I got last week from the evaluation center that handled all his stuff when he was in school. And we went there last week and got all the documentation that they had asked us to get for them. So that would, cover him that way. So they have all the documentation showing his disabilities and stuff when he was in school. And nothing has changed in that area other than, he's able to cook and clean and stuff like that for me here. But the lady didn't seem to think that there would be any problems getting him certified to go out to Frost Industries. So we will just be having to wait till and be notified by mail. So it's just a waiting game at this point as to, how soon that's going to happen. But they were very nice and, made it go very smoothly this morning. So hopefully that will be the case. And hopefully sometime this month he can start out there at Frost. This coming month, March. I hope so, for his sake. And mine. I'm excited for him in his future. Because I really feel like that we're going to get there this time. And, I'm just glad that we're getting there. But this is Johnny's blanket that I started last year. I can say that now. Last year, I'm using puzzle Premier Puzzle yarn in the color Maize. And it's a corner-to-corner blanket. I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to put on some TV here shortly and work on these blankets. And, but this is how this is going. It's going to be for, I'm probably going to do this just as a throw blanket for him. Because he sleeps, well, he sleeps by himself, but the dogs are, at least Theodore sleeps in there with him a lot of nights. But this is where I'm at with it. So I'm using why my mouth just keeps getting dry. I'm using a 6.5 millimeter hook on this one. And so it's really pretty. And I got this skein, and then I got at least three or four more skeins. I might have 5 more. No, I think I got 4 more skeins, so I can make this as big as I want to make it. So yeah, this one is going to be pretty big. I might make it as big as his bed. He's got a queen size bed, so I don't know if it'll be queen size big, but it'll be pretty big blanket by the time I'm done with it. And as y'all know, puzzle yarn is very squish and very soft. So, and these are his colors. He loves green. Both my boys love the color green. So, and this next blanket is for Will, my oldest son. And I'm also using some Premier yarn in it as well. And along with some Lion Brand yarn. And so this is also corner to corner. Let me find the end here. And so this is Juniper. This is in Premier Basics color Juniper. This is Two Pines and Premier. This is Lion Brand. Oh, what's the name of this yarn? It's their anti-pilling something, I forget, but the color is called Two Pines. And then this is Premier Basics in cream. So, and I'm just I originally had this in a back and forth blanket, you know, a different stitch, and then I frogged it back once I learned how to do corner to corner, sort of. These are my first 2 blankets in corner to corner. I haven't actually finished a corner to corner blanket yet. I just started them, FYI. So, but Will's blanket is going to be for his whole bed. So, but I have definitely got a good start on these. But yeah, this is actually attached to a ball, I think. Yeah, I'm using a 6 millimeter on this one. But yeah, these are the 3 colors I'm using for his. And of course, 2 of them are green because they like the color green. So yeah, hopefully by Christmas I'll have these 2 done, and they can have them for Christmas. And they can be those what do you call them? Legacy blankets or whatever. Those blankets that they can have when I'm gone. Look, my mother made me this one. Yep. Those blankets that last a long time, but I'm gonna start working on those. I know it's fixed to be warm, but that's okay. I have good air conditioning. And I'll be wearing shorts and working on a blanket during the summer. So what? I've never been accused of doing stuff that was time appropriate. But hopefully y'all will, join me in doing the stash down with Fiberflux. Maybe I'll share pictures on my Facebook group and tag her on Instagram. She has an Instagram. And so, we can include her in our pictures since she gave me the idea. And she'll be updating her social network throughout the year with her progress on hers. And I look forward to her videos. She will do short videos throughout the year as she progresses with her own. And I of course will update y'all accordingly with mine. I think tonight I'll probably work on one of the boys' blankets, and that'll be what I do tonight. And Friday, I got my new insurance card in the mail the other day. And so, and it's effective this coming Friday the 1st. And so Friday, I'm going to probably do a walk-in with my regular doctor so that I can go get some more antibiotics. Because I'm pretty sure that I got another infection due to the kidney stone. So, and that's probably what's making me feel so yuck and messing with my appetite and all that stuff. So, and I'll feel better as soon as I can get rid of that and get rid of the kidney stones, of course. But that's what's got me. That's why I didn't do a video yesterday, a regular vlog video. And that's why I'm, you know, a little off today. I'm just pushing through the best I can. So, anyhow, I hope y'all have a good night. This is about all I got for y'all tonight. Hopefully y'all were entertained. But I love y'all, and so does Jesus. And please remember to adopt. Don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye now.